Sherry, stock markets correct from time to time. Why not the housing market?
Well, the housing market does correct, but of course houses are not as liquid as stocks. You don't just trade them hour to hour. And they aren't uniform either. So you could see softness in some sectors, some locations, at the same time that the overall average house price continues to rise.
Have we seen Toronto and Vancouver elevate the overall figures and maybe obscure some cities that aren't doing quite as well?
Absolutely. I mean, it is a dramatically different story in Vancouver, Toronto, compared to in the last year, Calgary, Edmonton.
Right.
But even other cities around the country, nobody's booming the way Toronto and Vancouver. And even for those two cities, it is a single-family detached home story, not so much for condos.
Interesting. So if you're worried about Canadian real estate being overvalued, you have to go beyond Toronto and Vancouver. You may, in fact, see that some markets haven't really done that well and are not overheated per se.
Exactly. In fact, some markets are relatively weak, and it's a buyer's market.
Quickly in closing, can you tell us any of those markets?
Ottawa's weak, Moncton's weak, Montreal certainly has come off, Windsor is relatively weak, and then a lot of smaller areas as well.
Okay, that's great. Thank you, Sherry.
You're welcome.